Hello, I'm Mark Sumner, host of the Channel Chat podcast show, and today I have the pleasure of Ilana Simons, the Sales Director of Braze, in the studio. How are we doing, Ilana?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Thank you for having me here.
No, thank you for coming in. Ilana, I wanted to get you in because I've been watching your career, and a couple of people suggested for you to come onto the show. But when I normally get a person into the studio, I normally look through their LinkedIn profile and find something I'm interested to kick off with. And normally it is their degree. Now, you are the first person I've ever had in the studio that's had a degree in social policy. Now, I actually asked Anthony, I said, what is social policy? So tell me about that and why you kicked off with that degree, because it's a bit of an unusual one, I think.
It is. So for me, I was really interested in social policy because I love to understand. I was very much into kind of politics and understanding British society, and it's a nice combination between learning about how we get the welfare state and the education system, and it's about helping people. But quite honestly, I wanted to go to a good university, and that was what I could get on. So
is that it?
so that was it. Kind of came down to where can I go, and at that point it was about going to university, and then I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was absolutely fascinating just understanding kind of how some of our policies came about and how they've developed and how they're helping people. And I think that actually had a big impact in terms of, who I am today, and, what I'm interested in. And so it's really random. But I loved it, I must say. I really, really did. So,
and when you come out of university, did you have plans to use that degree?
Absolutely. Well, I was thinking about it because it takes me straight into government. And so I remember doing an internship at Department for Education over the summer. And I really enjoyed it, to be honest. And I was doing that for a couple of months, and I was thinking, okay, this is really good, and this is kind of where you can make change. And then I kind of graduated thinking, it's probably going to take me about 25, 30 years to make a tiny bit of change, and probably not going to make as much money as if I went into sales. So I kind of went into sales, and that was kind of where I went from there.
So it's a pure money move to go into sales.
Well, it wasn't. I got into sales by accident as well. Clearly my summers during university had a massive impact on my life because I remember did this telesales during the break, and I wanted to go on holiday, and I had to pay for it. And so a bunch of my friends in London were doing this telesales, and I turned up. I was like, I'll be with my friends every day, and never know, could make some money, to go on holiday. I think Ibiza or whatever it was back then. And I remember the first week, and I just kind of picked up the phone, and I was really good, and I made money. And I was like, oh, this is good. So I did that. I went back every summer, and then when I graduated, I was thinking, well, I did quite enjoy that. So yeah, quite honestly, and going into sales was very much. It was money based, although I actually fell into sales after that anyway, for a different reason. But yeah, it's part of it.
And tell me about your first job, because a little birdie tells me that you actually just worked for a complete startup, just one person. Straight from uni, straight into a startup.
Yeah.
So tell me how you got that job.
Yeah, again, another accident. Back in the day, they used to have these recruitment houses where you would turn up and speak to a recruiter, and then
open days,
exactly. And so I turned up, and I thought I was interviewing for a recruitment company, and it turns out it was for this tech SaaS startup, and it was the CEO and myself, and I got the job. I don't know how I got the job, but I got the job. So, I think I was, fresh out of uni, and I suddenly got my first job in it was SaaS and it was tech, and I was the first employee. There was eventually another employee as well. So there was three of us. We were doing everything, right? That's what it was like. And for me, I was thrown in the deep end, apparently, from day one.
So everything, sales, marketing.
I remember we were building the website.
Really?
Yeah. We were building the website. And I actually remember because the first sale I did was Warner Brothers. Somehow, such a brand for such a small company. But I was wearing many different hats. And then eventually the developers were offshore somewhere. I don't remember exactly where, but I was talking to them, working with them. And it was just, wearing many hats.
Did you get any sales training at all, or
What?
was it just thrown into
Sales
it?
training? Oh gosh, no. I think I did do at that point. I started to do some of those courses, like spin courses and stuff like that. But to be honest, I mean, doing a 2-day course doesn't really help.
No.
It's you learn on the job, and I think learning that experience that I had in my first couple of years, was just it's had such an impact for me the rest of my career, to be honest, because now my mentality is, why not give it a go? And so if I wasn't thrown into that early on, I probably wouldn't have this same mentality now.
And you moved on from that company and you worked for another organisation.
Yes, slightly bigger, 18 people.
And so, global company.
Global company.
Yeah.
So I think I left and there was 3, and then 3 of us, and then I went on and there was 18, and I think I was the first proper salesperson. It was at that point, it was still so young that the kind of the main salespeople were the co-founders, right? It's quite typical, and so I was still young, and kind of they had some big accounts. And so I was looking after quite large organisations, again, being quite young in my career. And, I remember flying. I used to fly to the Netherlands and to the US and all over the world. And I had no idea what I was doing, but I never thought, you have no idea what you're doing. I never thought to myself, Ilana, you don't know what you're doing. Why are you here? I was just like, sure, why not? Let's go for it.
Was it deluded confidence, or was it because when I hear about startups and the owner, and not being disrespectful, and a sort of graduate junior, there's a big gulf.
Yeah.
There's a big gulf in experience. But you seem to sort of like just throw yourself into it.
Yeah, because I thrive when I do that. When I'm most challenged, I will thrive. I will get the most out of it as well when I push myself. And so for me, it was kind of normal. It's just, and I love doing it. And, there's definitely certain points where I thought, maybe should I be here or should I not be here? Or I would walk into a room and, be doing, negotiate with people who have got another 40 years or, work experience on me. But I was there for a reason. No one was going to tell me I shouldn't be there.